Hi, we're Phil and Marianne. We commissioned a narrowboat build in December 2022. We now have the keys and we have set sail. We are now cruising the English Canal network, exploring. Come along with us and enjoy the travels together. Hi, welcome to this week's vlog. Something different in the run into Christmas. We hope you've enjoyed the journey with us so far this year, and here's a few pictures and scenes of what we've discovered already on the canal, and we're going to sit down and have a chat and go through it all together. Here's our pictures for now.
Hi everyone, it's that time of year again where we break out the silly jumpers and maybe look back and take stock of what we've done in the last year. So it's been a busy year this year, first year on the boat, so we'll have a quick look back at what we've done and what we think and maybe what we plan to do next year. The biggest thing for us was we took delivery of the boat and we moved on to the boat, which means that we both stopped work, which was quite nice in a way, but it's a bit of a shock to the system. If you're used to getting up and working every day, it's a bit of a shock when all of a sudden you're on a boat and you've got no time constraints and you've got no real outside pressures. I think I enjoy it because there's lots to do on the boat. There's always something to do on a boat if you're on a boat, and it's new to us. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a big shock, real culture shock. I've always been governed by alarm clocks, getting up, going to work. Just working, but I've easily settled into not getting up by an alarm clock and having to go to work. Do I miss it? No, not really. If truth be known, don't miss going to work. And so far it's great. No regrets.
No, of course not. Of course, another big thing was reducing all your possessions from a 4-bedroom house down to a 1-bedroom boat. So we sold 98% of everything we owned and moved on with basically one van full of stuff. And then since we've been on the boat, we've again thrown away another 20% of the stuff that we bought on the boat that we've never ever used. So it really is a case of you very quickly get used to what you need on a boat, or what you want on a boat, and what you don't need on a boat. So
and how little you need.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got everything on a boat has to do 2 or 3 things, and that's what we soon found is, I mean, things like air fryers we bought on the boat, it sat in the corner, and eventually we just gave it away. As most of you would have seen, the boat, you would have seen how it was built. You would have seen Marianne do the walkthrough. I think that was episode 5. A lot of people have seen the inside of the boat. Hopefully over time we've covered the propulsion, the electrics, the solar, everything. So most people will know about the boat. We've been on board 6 months, and now it's not just a boat, it's our home, and we do feel differently about it, and we do treat it slightly differently. We've made a few minor alterations, but nothing serious. We've just literally learnt how to live on a boat, as opposed to living in a house where everything's connected. You know where everything is. It's surprising how you can put a pair of glasses down on a 57-foot boat and instantly lose them.
Yeah, and you have to be tidy. It does not that we're untidy people, but it does force you to be that extra bit tidy.
Yeah.
If you're doing something, you use it, you put it away.
And if you're not tidy, very quickly turned into an absolute disaster, a mess.
Yeah, so we've become tidier people, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, it's and I don't think we've got any regrets with any of the spec that we had for the boat. It's all lived up to the expectation that we wanted.
Not at all. I don't think we'd change. We certainly wouldn't change anything major. I think maybe the only thing that we've said is when we had the boat built, we had the doors on the back swinging outwards. Maybe we would have changed them so that they swung inwards. It just means if you're moored up against a high bank, it's difficult to get the doors open. But
you overcome it.
You overcome it. It's not a problem. You soon learn not to moor on with a high bank or a high pontoon.
Or you quickly learn that if you're going to be below the towpath, you do shut your doors before you moor up, because we've done it several times, moored up, the door's still open, and it's like, oh, pants, got to push the boat out, untie, pull the door in. But if that's our only concern.
Yeah, I mean, you say that there is very, very little we change about the boat. I mean, everything just seems to work well. You soon get used to it. You get into a routine, and no, I mean, I don't think there's anything we'd want to change. No. It's a lovely place to be. So, where have we been? Well, we picked up the boat in
Aldermaston.
When did we do that?
We set off for our initial cruise towards the end of June for the shakedown first short trip up to Hungerford.
Okay, so we did a short cruise up the Kennet and Avon, up to Hungerford, where we'd done enough miles, or we'd done enough hours on the gearbox to turn it around, take it back to the marina for the first service on the gearbox. We decided that, the Kennet and Avon, because you had to go all the way up and all the way back, we decided we wanted to get onto the network, so we headed out through Reading onto the Thames, and then basically proceeded to follow all the way to the end of the Thames, which was to...
we went up the Thames through King's Lock, bared left and went down to Lechlade while we were up there, and then turned around after spending the best part of a week in Lechlade, and then headed up through Duke's Cut up towards the north, the Oxford.
The Oxford, yeah.
Yeah, not north, south Oxford.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, after coming off the Thames, it was a sight for sore eyes to see a canal.
We did enjoy the Thames. The Thames was great. We had a lovely summer. It's nice, big. If anything, the locks are big, but the locks are a bit too big for narrow boats. They're built for cruisers, and the rivers are built for cruisers. So it was a relief to get back on the canals, but we did thoroughly enjoy the time that we spent on the Thames.
Yeah, but we quickly discovered that if you're on the Thames, you get up early, you cruise quickly, you moor up early, because else you don't stand a chance of getting a mooring.
No.
But we were pretty lucky. I think it was only once that we double-breasted with Mam and Keith.
Bit of wild mooring.
But yeah, wild mooring in an ant's nest. But that was the one and only time. Every other time we were pretty lucky. Yeah,
always found someone to moor. But then getting back through Duke's Cut, back onto the canals, it was familiar territory. We knew we were on the network. Single locks. And yeah, great. The closer we got to Braunston, obviously, it's the heart of the network. It just seemed to become easier and easier. The locks got slightly better, the towpaths got slightly better, and now we're moored up at Braunston for the winter. If it wasn't for the lock closures, we'd have 4 or 5 different directions we can go. So now all we're doing is we're waiting for. There's currently work going on at Braunston Locks to replace the lock gates. I think there's work in 2 other directions.
Yeah, the Atherstone flight and the Napton flight, but they're all due to finish this side of Christmas.
Yeah. So basically, we were kind of hemmed in. We we're going out for 2 or 3 days a week. We'll run up to Dunchurch Pools and fill up with diesel. Stop out for several days. Again, we can go up to Wigram's Turn. But yeah, as soon as the locks are open again, it's a case of we're free to roam.
What's been your favourite place or favourite thing we've done?
Favourite place? Don't know. Goring was quite nice.
Goring was very pretty.
Yeah, I mean Goring is one of those you couldn't hope for a nicer place. We moored up and basically it's a lovely little village. All the local shops, the local butchers. All the pubs were nice. It was just a really nice. I mean, the weather was good.
Oh, it hit 30 degrees when we were there.
It certainly did. Yeah. So
we saw the swan upping. Is it?
The swan upping, yes.
Yeah, we saw the swan upping where they catch and tag the swans on the River Thames.
Mm-hmm.
Swan uppers.
Swan uppers, okay.
Yeah, we saw that.
But that was good. I mean, I think the week we spent in, it was a week of 10 days we spent in Croppedy was good.
Oh yes.
Because again, Croppedy is, I think there's a lot goes on in Croppedy, but we happened to be there at the time of the Sealed Knot, the reconstruction for the Roundheads and the Cavaliers, and that was
Battle of Croppedy Bridge.
Battle of Croppedy Bridge, and again that was an amazing experience. I mean, to see it seemed like hundreds of reenactors on the field at any one time. I think there was more reenactors on the field than there were in the crowd. And to see that, and they weren't holding back. I mean, they went in and we saw broken fingers, we saw bloody noses, we saw where the staffs were broken, and the guys coming out of the crush because they couldn't fight with broken fingers and things. The guys coming out of the crush were really upset that they were missing out, and they weren't holding back. They meant it. So Croppedy was really good as well.
Yeah, and
Thrupp, yeah.
Inspector Morse.
Yeah, Thrupp. We spent a week in Thrupp. The moorings were great. So I mean, there's so many things, isn't there? Napton again, yeah. So
beautiful little village.
That's the places. I mean, the things I really enjoyed are the new people.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of nice, really, really nice people that we've met on our travels. You just pull up, and then in the boat next year, you just start talking, and all of a sudden, 2 hours is gone, and then if they're arranged, sort of saying, well, let's go to the pub, and I think nearly everyone we met on the canals has been really nice.
Yeah.
So it was very pleasant. It's different to.
It's like going back years ago where you knew your neighbours.
Yeah.
A community, but it's like when we met Pam and Keith, and we ended up travelling from Wallingford all the way up to Broadston with them. We'd never met them before, but we travelled in tandem and we had a fantastic summer. They unfortunately had to go back to New Zealand, and then we met up with other people that we've been out for meals and drinks, and been to Artisan Market, went to a couple of open days at the marinas, and people are just so open and inviting, and nothing's too much trouble. If you've got a problem, somebody is there to help you.
It's like living in a small village, except that you may not see someone for 6 months, 12 months, I suppose. I mean, we'll find out next year, but
Yeah.
but then once you see them, it's old friends. So that's one thing we find different to city life, is when you're in a city, if you fell over, some people would step over you, whereas if you fell over on the towpath, you'd have 5 people there to help you up and dust you off. So
if you fall in the canal, you're on your own.
But it's just a completely different outlook. That the way that people interact with each other is so much more civilised on the canals. I mean, it's like everything else. Occasionally you will get a slightly grumpy one, but that's life.
Yeah.
But you get a lot less grumpy ones on the canal than you do in the cities. We've probably told you, we took a home mooring because of our first year. We didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know what to expect. So we took a home mooring in Broadstone Marina. Very useful, very central, and very friendly. It's, I say, unfortunately, was hemmed in at the moment with the closures.
We had it as a bit of a safety net, didn't we, to get us settled into the boat?
Yeah, exactly. We knew that we were going to take a home mooring somewhere, and we tried. We looked at several, and Braunston just
ticked all the boxes.
It ticked all the boxes, and it instantly. So we took a chance and we took a home mooring here. Now, we're not here very often, but it's just a case of it's nice. It's somewhere to come back to. It's a safe haven if we had to come back. It's also, Braunston itself is it's nice because you can leave the marina, you can walk up a hill, and within 5-10 minutes you're in the village. So you've got access to small shops. You've got access to the butchers. I'm not sure if there's a post office.
It's in the shop, I think.
Oh, is it? There's 4 or 5 really nice pubs. I mean, if you go slightly out of town, you've got the Admiral Nelson, but it's just close to everything, close to Daventry, close to Rugby. So you can. There's a car park here, so it's a secure car park. So you can jump in the car and you go to Daventry, and within 10 minutes you can be in a superstore. So everything is good.
I think Daventry is a bit of a hidden gem. Big supermarkets, couple.
Yeah.
And then while you're in the supermarket, you're in spitting distance of all the main shops in like the arcade. So
yeah.
It ticks all the boxes for us.
Virtually on the doorstep, if you've got the car.
Which we have for the time being.
Which we have for the moment. We don't travel with the car.
No.
Because we know a lot of people that do travel with the car, and it is very convenient, but we think we'd find it restrictive having to go back at the end of, well, not necessarily every day's cruise if you're going back that way, but the whole idea of having a boat was to sail off, and wherever you moor up is home. We find that the online shopping is great. I mean, you basically go online 3 or 4 days before, you pick your slot, you meet them at a bridge or a pub, and the guys rock up, bring your food out, everything's paid for, and all you got to do is take your trolley back to your boat, and you're done.
Yeah.
We might invest in a couple of foldable bikes.
Yeah, we did bring our bikes from home back with us when we came back a couple of weeks ago, but we've quickly discovered it doesn't work. They're too big.
Yeah. If there's people out there getting posh new foldable bikes for Christmas, they might be wanting to sell the old ones off cheap on
Marketplace
or eBay or whatever. So we'll see what the new year brings. You're normally within a 10-minute walk of a pub if you need it, or a shop, or so far it's not been a problem.
No, I think as time goes on we'll get used to it.
Yeah, we will get used to it.
I mean, we think we left the K&A, and it wasn't until we got to here we had access to a car, so that was 4 months.
Yeah, sorry.
So we know we can do it. It's just getting that towny mentality out of our heads.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
If it means we've got to sacrifice ourselves and go and sit in a pub for an hour waiting for a food delivery,
oh dear,
then we'll have to do it. I'm prepared to take the risk.
Yeah. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. So, watch this space. Yeah. What are we going to do next year?
Well, I've got a couple of commitments. March, May, and June.
So, as with any family, there's going to be milestone birthdays coming up.
Yeah. There's 4 next year.
Is there?
Yeah.
Early January we'll be shooting off through Braunston Tunnel and see what we can explore. We know that we've got Crick booked, so we're looking forward to that. We've actually booked the boat in to be moored on the canal on the towpath outside the show. So in previous years we've
paid for hotels.
Yeah. Basically, we've paid to stop in a hotel or a bed and breakfast, either close. I mean, but it would be nice to actually be on site, to be able to walk into the show, out of the show at any time, and also to enjoy the entertainment of an evening, where I think it sort of gets.
Well, we've never stopped before because I'm usually driving.
Yeah.
So we can actually enjoy the evening entertainment and stop and have a drink.
Yeah, it'd be great when the place goes quiet, when most of the people leave and it's just the boaters left. I think it would be nice to go and, as you say, prop up the bar,
have a bit of fun,
prop up a table, whatever, have a couple of beers and watch the music. We've managed to catch a little bit in the past, but not very much.
No.
As for next year, we're not entirely sure. We're not really sure where we're going to go. It's a case of we're going to have to be back in the marina every couple of months, so we're kind of limited. But then after,
as we're at Braunston Marina and the position in the marina where our boat is, we have got an optimum spot for the historic boat rally.
Yeah, so we will be around the Braunston area. We're going to be at Crick. We'll be here for the historic rally. We're simply going to turn the boat around and sit on the back with a glass of prosecco and watch all the boats go by. So that would be nice. But after that, it's we flip a coin. We really like to do the Pontysillet, Pontcysilty. What was it?
The aqueduct in Wales.
Yeah, the aqueduct in Wales. That aqueduct.
I think that's going to be January 2026.
Either December, either Christmas, December 2025 or early 2026. But it's one of the things that's on our list. I mean, everyone's got the list of the things they want to do. So the Llangollen Canal is definitely on the cards for winter 2025, 2026. We've not got a deadline. It really is a case of we'll go. We're looking forward to having the boat for the entire summer, because with all the solar set-up and all the hybrid systems, we are hoping that as soon as the sun comes out, we can totally. Well, we should be able to run on nothing. We shouldn't be able to use a diesel. At the moment, we're using diesel for heating.
That's all though.
In the summer, we're thinking that the solar array will give us enough battery power to run all the appliances and for all the propulsion. Won't need any heating. So we're thinking that in March onwards, we should see, fingers crossed, we should hopefully completely stop using diesel.
Depends what sort of stupid weather we've got next year.
It does, it is. And I mean, people sort of say to us, you've got an electric boat, but you still use diesel. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's no other viable way. I mean, we have no coal, we have no gas, so it's either diesel or electric. In the summer, we should be completely on electric.
Well, we lasted into October, start of October this year, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely fine, no problem at all. And again, with the diesel situation, when HVO becomes more readily available, we will switch across to HVO, which means that we will not be burning fossil fuels at all. So then the hybrid will be a very green option. Obviously, we're keeping track of everything we use and how far we go. How far have we been this year?
So, put my windows on, that's better. So far this year, we have done, it's my drum roll, we've done 240 miles and 132 locks.
And it's only taken us 6 months.
So that's actually more than what I thought. It wasn't until I started adding it up I thought we hadn't done that many miles. So felt like we'd done more locks, but so it's the way. But that surprised me when I sat and added up all that lot.
So it's 240 miles.
240 miles.
Okay, and so far I think we put about 130 hours on the engine. A lot of those hours were lot of those hours were actually put on in the summer
On purpose.
when we didn't need to run the diesel, but we had to get the engine hours up to 50 hours before we went out the range of our engineer, so that he could come and service the engine, give its first service on the engine. So we actually racked up a few hours on the engine.
Didn't want to.
That we didn't need to, but a new boat, it's your servicing intervals need to be observed. So that's not bad. If we've done 130 hours on the engine and travelled 240 miles, hopefully this summer, if we get a good summer, then we should be able to drastically reduce what we use the diesel engine for. But at the moment we're sat in a marina. We use diesel for heating. If we go out for a cruise, we went up to Dunchurch Pools the other day. It was literally 3 hours up the canal.
Well, there and back 3 hours.
Yeah, we didn't rush.
No.
You simply stick it on the electric. If your batteries are full, 90%, whatever, you stick it on electric. You take a nice slow cruise up through and then back again. Without the sun being out, we can generate 5.3 kilowatt. If you had to, when the sun came out, then you could generate well over 7 kilowatt. One other bit of good news is we had Bobby come out from Waterways World this year, and he took a tour around the boat, took a load of pictures, sat with us for a couple of hours and chatted. And it looks like the February edition of Waterways World, you're going to see our boat on it, which is going to be brilliant. I mean, we didn't think it would happen, did we? I mean, but it's nice to see that Waterways World think that your boat is good enough to actually be featured.
Yeah.
So that's a real bonus for us.
No, and he sent us through the draft, and we had a look at it. I think
I mean, if we didn't own the boat, we'd want to buy it.
It's not for sale.
It's not for sale, but no. I mean, I've read the write-up. I mean, if we didn't already own the boat, I would have put in an offer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's done a very good job to tell everybody what the boat is like.
Yeah,
cracking job. Boat for a couple of months. It was quite hard because with all these boat features in these magazines, people dress their boats, so they look unlived in. So we did have to say to him, look, we're living on this boat, so we've tried to make it look not sterile, not the correct word, but
just tidy.
Yeah, to present it like a show home. So we did our best, and the pictures come through, and I think he did alright.
You don't want to see what's behind the camera. That's basically everything's boxes and everything piled up behind the camera because we wanted to clear out the front room.
That's a lie, by the way. It's cans of beer.
That's ballast. That's not rubbish, that is mobile ballast.
So we've got that to look forward to in February. Just Christmas and New Year with family.
So it's nice to get the Christmas jumpers on.
Yeah.
It is only August, but
mine's Grinch, but I've got Christmas earrings. I'm not a grumpy person really, but my other Christmas t-shirts are my mum's. So I don't think there's much more for us to say, but thank you for watching, and see a couple of fools pottering around on the canal. Maybe sticking with us, or if you're new to it, thanks for joining us. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year. Or is it other way around? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So again, thank you guys. You know what to do. You know which one to press, ring, subscribe. You've been told often enough.
Like, comment.
Yeah, comments. I mean, we don't get many comments, but we're quite happy. If people have got questions about how does a hybrid boat work, we're quite happy to answer them. It's not technical. It's very, very simple. So anyway.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll see you next year.
Bye for now.